Welcome to Monster Weekly. I'm Ethan, the guy who draws the monsters. This week, again, have done something a little different. I have drawn in the main portion of this creature, who is actually a character in one of my friend's D&D campaigns. It's his character, and he's a dragonborn, and he's based off of silver dragons and humans combined, I guess. And this one was a little different. He's kind of a fire-wielding sorcerer, so I played with a lot of the lighting. You can kind of see here, where he's got the fire that I'm going to develop around here, and then I'm trying to work with shadow up in these areas over here, so the light, I've got a very definite source coming in, and it's kind of coming up, and so the shadow is going to be from behind, so it's going to kind of help create a more three-dimensional look to the image. As I work, it'll help me create more of that three-dimensional kind of view, kind of illusion, I should say, that I've been that I've been talking about the past couple of weeks. The red line is different for me because it kind of helps me see a little bit easier than using graphite. Same with the blue line that I've used before. It allows me to kind of work with graphite. These very faint lines you might see here get really, really dark, and it gets harder for me to discern what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. With the red line, I just go a little bit darker, and you can see like the darker lines a bit easier, and then I can go and say, oh, okay, so with my pencil, I can then just work in. And essentially, the reason I'm doing the pencil line is I'm basically working to create an image with these lines to then lightbox another image so that when I ink it, that comes through without the red line. It's a lot of work, it's another step, but it helps me in the end. You might think it takes longer, but it's honestly about the same amount of time, because if I just did this all in graphite, I'd end up doing a lot of erasing and having to re-ink once I put the inks down, and erasing again takes some of the inks out. You actually end up erasing some of the inks, and so doing this process actually helps me kind of play around and see what I want to do also before the inks. So I might add some more details, I might add some more work, some more nubs onto the horn section here. But that'll help me kind of like work into it a bit more with the inks and see what I want to keep and what I want to delete. So as you can see, that kind of helps me figure out exactly what I want to do. And I really enjoy kind of having the options to do something a little different. The other thing that happens, especially when you lie ink down on pencil, is that you realize, oh, this is going to look a lot different in inks than it does in graphite. Like, for instance, I'm noticing some differences already, that how graphite looks way different in certain areas than the red pencil does. and I'm not 100% sure, it might just be the optics. But then it has a much different flow and flavor when you add ink. Really enjoying the textures I'm working with on this character. Very dragon-like. My friend Mitch Gillen, who runs the Nerd Out in Portland, wanted me to do his character for him that he plays in his Dungeons and Dragons game. And this guy is some kind of like villainous sorcerer, kind of a cross between Doctor Strange and Leatherface. So I thought that was really fun and creepy. Kind of a perfect idea for Monster Weekly.